Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this. Instead, it looks like this. If anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war. We need to do simulations, germ games, not war games, so that we see where the holes are. The last time a germ game was done in the United States was back in 2001, and it didn't go so well. So far, the score is germs 1, people 0.
You didn't get in on that one. Stay fair.
That's foul.
That's a double.
All this talk of limiting autographs not going over well here.
It's an overreaction.
Not really a fan.
A real-world problem casting a shadow where fans just want to escape.
We've been waiting for Miami spring break for a while. About 2 months we've had this trip planned. 2-3 months. So we're just out here having a good time. Whatever happens, happens. With the bars being closed, we'll find alternatives.
I'm somewhat of a conspiracy theorist, so I get it, people going overboard, but I also don't like people being too calm about the situation. And I just remember not hearing anything about it, as if it was just, I really in my head, started saying, there's no way they can have the NCAA tournament. There's no way that we can have basketball.
The league has made a decision to end this year's Atlantic Coast Conference men's basketball tournament as of today.
The numbers are like they are. Not that I'm a doctor, but if what they say is true. And so, I became very concerned.
We're going to go to the latest now, though, on the coronavirus. Experts are warning it's likely to become a pandemic. There are at least 11 confirmed cases in the U.S.
This is affecting the lives of our citizens. People are dying. Every day that is delayed here, I'm losing a dozen people on the back end are going to die as a result of this. Kevin Durant, one of the most fit people in the world, tested positive today. It's incumbent upon the citizens of this state to take this seriously. Pubs, wineries, bars, and breweries that do not include meals provided by a full kitchen must close.
Main thing you want to do is hit them on the edge like I did, or you'll pop them right up. It's been 39 years I throw in a keg. And don't hit your head. Sundowner right here. This used to be the Sundowner Casino. Now it's a Belvedere condo. I used to dump 30 to 40 kegs of Bud Light, and Michelob everywhere. George Caradinas, #1 draft stop in town.
When did that stop?
It went down. Sales went down. He sold it shortly after 9/11. I was in there when the planes hit. That's where I was at the main bar in Sundowner. So I always remember it, the 9/11. And I said to myself, that's not going to be good for the economy. And boy, was I right. So you have the March Madness. Then you have St. Patrick's Day, which I've always said is when my route starts really picking up due to March Madness and St. Patrick's, because you get all the Irishmen coming out of hibernation. So they start drinking again. They like their McBuds.
It was once we heard that Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz, it had been announced that night that he had it and it maybe given it to other players.
So both head coaches have gone back, and you see the teams heading back to the locker room.
And fans, due to unforeseen circumstances, the game tonight has been postponed. You are all safe. And take your time in leaving the arena tonight and do so in an orderly fashion. Thank you for coming out tonight.
I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
I'm Scott Van Pelt here at ESPN. This astounding and unprecedented story continues to evolve. NBA is suspending the season. I say that understanding that as we speak, the game in Dallas is continuing.
But starting tomorrow, NBA play is suspended, and then the league is going to use that hiatus to decide their next steps, how they'll go forward but this is the last night of NBA games for the foreseeable future.
As a basketball fan, I'm depressed. As a human being and as an American citizen, I'm getting to the point where I'm scared as hell.
The night of the 11th was also the night Gobert tested positive. They postponed the season starting the next day, and the Thursday and Friday, the 12th and 13th, I was in the office, and my entire days were spent trying to figure out what we do, because of all the postponements and cancellations of sports across the world.
The 2020 Summer Olympics, now the latest major sports cancellation caused by the global COVID-19 pandemic. So let's take a look.
Michael Phelps joins us live on SportsCenter. Now for those athletes whose opportunity to compete is gone, how do you process it with the empathy that you would understand?
It's been crazy all day. All of a sudden they're like, yeah, we're going to postpone it for a year. I think the hardest thing is really understanding that the whole training cycle now gets completely changed.
My journey starts from when I was a very, very young girl. My entire family basically plays, both my parents. They were actually my coaches when I was a little baby. It is huge in my family. And I think that's something that we definitely bond over. And we have debates about how we should be doing an outlet or how we should throw an overhead, so it's really cool and it's fun because we challenge each other, and it's just a massive part, I think, of our daily routine.
I actually came to America between the years of 2005 and 2006 as a young kid with my family due to war that took place in Liberia around those times.
I was meant to come home and I was meant to train and everything leading up to hopefully potentially making the final team for the Olympics. That was meant to be in July. That process was stopped. And that kind of just hit me because I was like, wow, like I gave up my semester to train and now I can't really train because now we're in lockdown. So I'm like, okay, now I've given up school, so I can't really go back to studies.
It didn't actually get real for me until the next 4 races was canceled in a row. We kept training, but when the city of Miami-Dade shut down the tracks and the weight room, that's when things really hit. So now we have to take a step back and go into like a type of off-season hybrid mixed with a preseason.
I'm lucky enough that obviously my entire family and then also one of my teammates is actually staying with me. So we have our home programs and all of that stuff. So it's actually been pretty fun to try come up with our home gym, and we have my mom's a teacher, so we have like her soft toys to like jump onto, and we've made like weights with tin food and paint cans and stuff like that. So I think that part for me has been really fun because it kind of suits my personality. We have to like be creative and think up of fun ways to do things. And then I'm also very fortunate enough that we have a reasonably big garden. So we've been running around and we stay active every day. We have our hockey sticks. They permanently just live outside now. So we just hit around every day. We try new tricks, and yeah, so we're still keeping active in that sense. I think the sport on the TV has been a massive one. We've kind of run out of movies and series, and every time something's on, my parents are like, oh no, not this again, type of thing. So I think it's definitely been difficult. You can't just like have a packet of chips and watch a soccer game or watch a hockey game or something like that. So it has been difficult.
Look at what digital has done to the expansiveness of all the events that we can do across the board, right? 25,000 live events is nuts. ESPN has been extremely innovative in this time. And we've always been innovative, but we are now being innovative through the roof. We have the NFL draft that is still going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us get this party started with the commissioner.
Welcome to the 2020 NFL Draft, and thank you for taking the time to be with us. Like millions of fans, team personnel, and prospects, I join you from my home for the first virtual NFL Draft. This is different for us, and it's different for you, because it has to be.
Can't take a sack here. Can't take that either. Intercepted.
I grew up like dreaming about being able to like be drafted. Obviously, you don't even think like I never thought it was like real really until like you know what I mean, up until maybe a few years ago, if that, and like just to like still I'm still just excited for that, you know what I mean, the day to come and just be able to enjoy it with like my brother and my friends that I've grew up with. And so, I mean, I've always watched the draft with my brother and like family and friends, so it'll be cool to watch it this year and actually be in it.
After a successful 4-year career at Wake Forest and a good day at the NFL Combine, the Eastlake grad has landed on many NFL teams' radars.
The biggest difference in the draft process between us is like there were so many, like I had a lot of the teams that I'm Skyping with, what it would have been is it would have been like a 30 visit where I would have flown to the team facility and got to visit, speak to their owner and general manager, kind of just get to see everybody in the facility and learn ball for a day. Doing some of it through Skype is obviously a little bit different. Like you don't have any private workouts with teams, stuff like that, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? I'm going to just be grateful for whatever opportunity, you know what I mean? Yeah. Wherever I go, I'll make it work.
Hey, Justin. Good, buddy. How you doing? Congratulations. We're thrilled you're a Bronco. You didn't come in here and have a chance to compete. We're proud and glad that you're a Bronco. All right, buddy. We'll enjoy that. All this hard work you put in is well deserved.
Let's go, baby.
I want to be able to focus on some things in my body, like maybe be able to focus on specific training, you know what I mean, I can do at home and stuff, just little things that you might not do when you're so busy that now I'll have the time to do.
I gave up my semester and stuff like that. So in the beginning, I was like, oh, what have I done? Like I've given up my year to kind of train for this thing that's now, thankfully, not been cancelled and postponed. So I think that is definitely the silver lining to it, is that it can still be a possibility. I can still fulfill my dream of actually playing for the Olympics and representing my country. So I think it definitely is probably a blessing in disguise, because it gives us a lot more time to prepare. It also gives me more time with my family. Obviously being overseas, I see them, a month every 4 months or whatever it is. Our entire family, so including my brother, is actually at home, and he went to boarding school, so we weren't really together and stuff like that. So it's been a blessing that we are all together.
Kind of cool to like do things that you kind of wouldn't be doing without like I've been going on bike rides, stuff like that, you know what I mean, things I haven't done in years. I built the whole gym in the garage, and I was doing it for like 3 months. I'm like, all right, this is getting a little like, I just want to play some football at some point. And then, so I started going to I have an LA Fitness membership, so I was going there and stuff like that. But now I just came back here just because I don't want to kind of risk getting it. We're a couple of weeks out from potentially reporting, so I'm hoping I don't like catch it, you know what I mean, in the next week or two.
This year was supposed to be my end it be all. Giving it everything I had, go hard. However, extending it's kind of like I'm glad I didn't do it, because now I didn't expect to be in such a good shape. So now that I am, it's like, oh damn, like my body's back to feeling great. So next year I'm going to go and try to do much more than I did this year to see how much shape I can be in, because track and field is a game of momentum. Going to Olympics in 2021, when they do happen, I think that's going to positively affect anyone who is around me, be it immediate family, be it close friends, cousins, aunties, uncles, and also most definitely kids in Liberia, of course, because I am still in reach with a lot of the youth in Liberia. I think it'll definitely positively help them, because now it's like, oh, this kid's from Liberia, a country that had 2-3 civil wars.
Just to think about how much you sacrifice and stuff to just have something taken away from you like that, I think it'll be heartbreaking. But a positive, or a silver lining, I should say, probably for me, is that I am still young. So I am only 21, so I do still have time to potentially make the next round. There's still the next one. You are still young. You still have time to kind of make that next one.
I feel like we're all in that process right now in terms of having to deal with what we're dealing with and changing in mid-direction. And every day has been a fire drill for me, as well, in terms of how we're programming and doing content and all that kind of stuff.
Fans have sent in their pictures, and they have been placed here as if they were actually here watching the games.
Wow. He's the UFC's lightweight champion! Congratulations. Really amazing. I don't care.
This morning, the race is on to bring back sports. NASCAR setting the pace, pulling off its post-COVID return Sunday in South Carolina.
You know, I didn't think it was going to be that much different, and then we won the race, and it's dead silent out here, so we miss the fans.
Hey, Tom, how many shots you want? This Chuck.
Chuck, I've been focusing on football, bro. I'm trying to win a Super Bowl, man.
Ready to dominate for the win.
Run out.
Oh.
What a plot. Way to go, partner. Partner.
We talk daily about when and if sports come back and how they come back. I worry, and this is just my personal opinion, that sports is going to be one of the later things to come back with fans. It is a gathering place that is huge, a huge number of people significantly close together. I could see people going back to work more quickly than sports come back or entertainment comes back.
It's kind of an empty feeling, not knowing, because what I do now, I really don't like it at all, but it is a job, so it's keep positive there. The main thing is people talk negative, you know, because it is a negative thing, really, any way you look at it. So you got to try to stay positive, because I think that does help.
Renee Montgomery is all over the news this week because she announced that she would not be playing in the condensed 22-game regular season for the WNBA. She finally decided to leave the house so that she could participate in one of the marches in Atlanta, raise money, and hand out water for the protesters that were down there in Atlanta. Why do you think, Renee, this has impacted you so profoundly?
I think anyone that saw that 8-minute and 40-second video, like, how could you not be?
Get in the car. Mama.
I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America.
Drew Brees, you're a straight sucker, man. You're a sucker for that, bro. Why you think all these young people out here protesting?
It has been a difficult time for our country, in particular, Black people in our country. We, the National Football League, admit we were wrong for not listening to NFL players earlier.
NASCAR, after making it clear last week that the flag has no official place at its events, is now going even further with a request many of its fans may not like.
In a statement today, NASCAR asked fans to refrain from flying it.
Unity. Bring everybody together to enjoy a sporting event, cheer on their favorite driver, not be shy and introverted about or because of they see a Confederate flag flying.
The players clearly want to play, or at least so they say. Jeff, why aren't they?
Outlandish statement after outlandish statement. I would love to hear from an owner saying, I would love to have baseball this year.
The school in South Carolina performed more than 300 tests last week. 28 student athletes and staff members have tested positive.
One person I've talked to in the past week referred to it as bruised optimism. Look, we all understand that economics are important and money's important and all of that kind of thing, but it can't carry the day about this. If this is not the wise thing to do, if it can't be done safely, then we have to take that disappointment and just not have the season.
Should there be an NFL season?
I almost feel scared to say this, but the players reportedly agreed to report 2 home stadiums by July 1st for a 60-game season. You know, I love this timeline here. From May 26th until today, look at how many times it went back and forth, at least 8 proposals over the last 4 weeks.
It was really our most compelling potential for theater and drama, and that's what the NBA hopes they're going to have here, is a product this summer that can be compelling and pulls people back into the league.
I hate the fact of the tournament because, you know, this is from a playing perspective and it could be perceived hated in this, but, you know, I want the standards to stay the same. You know, I don't want, you know, you to be able to have a championship and it's been, you know, you got to play 4 games and you win a championship just to get to next season. No. One thing that I would like to see and that I've asked the league about is that whatever changes we're going to make in the league, that right now is kind of that milestone moment. Right now it's kind of that line in the sand that Corona is put here. So it's a new day. I do know that. I don't know what's going to change, but it won't be the same next time the jump ball goes up.